Hey, this is Jason from Strength Running, and today we're talking about how to break through a performance plateau, or how to engineer your own jump to the next level of racing performance. It's a gorgeous day out here in Denver, so I decided to get out of the office and record this video for you today. We're going to go through 5 of the most effective ways to get to that next level of performance. Let's dive in. All right, the first way to get to that next level, to break through that performance plateau, is to run more. It is easily the most effective, the best way to get faster as a distance runner. Now, look, since 2010, I have written probably more than about 1,500 custom training plans. And part of that process is reviewing a questionnaire that every runner fills out for me. And I can tell you that the vast majority of runners are running between 25 and 30 miles a week. And if you want to get to that next level, you have to start hitting mileage levels that are at 40, 50, and beyond. Those mileage levels are going to give you the aerobic endurance to handle faster paces, to do more challenging workouts, and to handle more frequent, consistent, high-quality long runs. And as we all know from the University of Colorado at Boulder head cross-country coach Mark Wetmore, success in distance running is all about the patient development of the aerobic metabolism. So if you're currently running low mileage, which I'll say is anything less than 40 miles a week, commit to running more. It doesn't have to be fast. In fact, most of it should be very, very easy. But nevertheless, that easy running, that extra volume is going to help you get to that next level. So be strategic about it, be gradual about it, but do it. Run that higher mileage and you are going to get a lot faster. Okay, strategy number 2. You have to train fast if you want to race fast. Now, I mentioned how many custom plans I've written over the last 8 years or so, and surprisingly, I've noticed that many runners aren't doing any kind of faster running. Now, structured, fast, formal workouts are probably the most complex part of training. If you didn't grow up as a runner on a team, or if you're not part of a club that really gets to see the evolution of workouts throughout an entire season, you probably don't know what to do here, and that's okay. I think most runners should be incorporating some type of workout into their training every single week. So if you're going months without running fast, if you are taking weeks and weeks off of any kind of structured, faster running workout, then you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're not going to maintain that level of fitness that's required for you to run much faster in races. So first and foremost, commit to doing something once a week at a bare minimum. Number 2, make sure that when you are in season, when you are working toward a race goal, I want you to have periodized workouts, meaning, you know, when you're 8 weeks out from a race, what you're doing is appropriate for that time period, as is 4 weeks out or 1 week out. That's what we mean by periodization. The period that you're in, you're doing appropriate training for that period. And then, of course, you should progress with your workouts. You know, the workouts that you do in your first year of running should be a lot easier than the workouts you do in your 5th or 10th year of running. Because if we can progress, not just in terms of our mileage and volume, but in terms of the intensity of our training, we're going to be a lot faster runners in the long term. Plateau busting tip number 3 is strength train. Now, strength training is an indirect way of getting faster, but I think for recreational runners like us, it is one of the most effective. And that's because we are incredibly susceptible to injuries. So the real value of strength training isn't that it's going to make you faster, but it's going to allow you to train more consistently. You're not going to have as many injuries. And when you do, they are going to be less severe and your recovery times are going to be shorter. Strength training allows you to be a more consistent runner, but more than that, it also makes you a more powerful runner. Stronger runners are going to be able to handle more mileage, so you can see how these two things are related, and you're going to be able to handle more intense training. So your workouts can be faster, they can be longer, and then when it comes time to race day, you're going to be faster too. Now, the other great thing about strength training is if it's done right, if you're actually in the gym lifting, you're going to improve your form pretty significantly. Strength training is really great for improving economy, for making you efficient, for improving the coordination between muscles and then also in an individual muscle. So there's a lot of reasons to love strength training. And like I mentioned before about writing all those custom plans, most runners aren't doing strength training. And the ones that are typically aren't doing it the way that it should be done for runners. So there's an enormous opportunity when we recognize that most runners are running low mileage, are not running fast workouts, or are being very inconsistent with them, and are not doing any strength training. If you can do those things, in other words, if you can train appropriately and well as a distance runner, you are going to be so far ahead of the pack. You are going to reach that new level of performance. Okay, strategy number 4 for getting to that next level, what you're gonna do is do something different. Get out of your comfort zone, run a race that you've never done before, do something that's outside of the mainstream for you. I've talked to a lot of runners whose goal is to qualify for the Boston Marathon. So what do? Every year they run 2 or 3 marathons. But that's not how you go about it, guys. You have to get fast in all dimensions, and that is going to transfer very well to your goal race distance. So if you've never trained for an obstacle course race, or a trail race, or a really short race like the mile or the 5K, or even a long race like the marathon, if you've never done those types of races, or you've never dedicated yourself to the training for those types of races, then this can be a really effective way of getting out of your comfort zone and working on fitness skills that are different than what you currently possess. So for example, if you are that runner that's been doing marathons 2 or 3 a year for the last 2, 3+ years, then taking a season off and training for the 5K is going to make sure that you are running workouts that are very different than marathon workouts, and then running a lot more short tune-up races. You are going to develop athleticism, coordination, strength, power, and speed in ways that you're not going to do when you're training for a marathon. So get out of your comfort zone, go train for a crazy race, a trail race, a long race, short race, whatever it is, do something you haven't done before. And when you come back to your ultimate goal, your original goal, you're going to be a lot better for it. All right, finally, our last tip for breaking through a performance plateau. Hold on one sec here. Denver Beer Company is great. Take a break. Take a break from running. Have a couple beers. My goodness. So many runners do not incorporate easy recovery periods into their training. On an annual basis, you should be taking about a month off. I think in about 3 periods of roughly 7 to 10 days off. I think this is enormously helpful for runners. Not just physically, because yes, you're going to, recover from your goal race. You're going to, make sure that your body is physically healed and fully recovered from all the hard training that you're doing, all the races, the big goal race that you might have just run. But there's an enormous mental component to this as well. You can't be on all the time. You have to rest. You have to give yourself periods of rejuvenation so that when you do start training again, you're sharp, you are committed, you're tenacious, and you're someone who is going to do what it takes to succeed. You can't do that every single day of the year or even every week of the year. You have to take those breaks off. So what I'd recommend is after your goal race, and assuming you're running roughly 3 to 4 seasons per year, after your goal race, it's time to take 5 to 10 days off. A lot of coaches will recommend about a week. I like to kind of give a more broad range depending on the distance. So if you've been racing 5Ks, you might need only 5 complete days off of running, and then maybe a week or 2 of very easy training. But if you just ran a 50-mile trail race and you had thousands of feet of elevation gain, you might need some more time off. So listen to your body, do what's right. But at the end of the day, it's really important to take some time off, enjoy yourself, not focus on training and being a runner, because we need some relaxation in our lives. And that is ultimately going to make us, in the long term, more committed to running, more productive runners, and we're going to get a lot more out of our training. All right, I hope this video is helpful for you. These were 5 of what I think are the most effective strategies for breaking through a performance plateau and getting to that next level of performance. Now, before you go, I want your thoughts on what you like to do when you find you're not improving or getting better. Leave a comment under this video, let me know, and I'll try to reply to each one and let you know what I think of your strategies. Thanks for watching, hit subscribe, and we'll talk soon. So this was mostly a prop. It's 3 in the afternoon. Do I keep drinking it?